thing, I see some people are, a few more people are starting to post their rentals on the GLA website. I just went on and shared those again on a couple Facebook groups to get them a few more views. But I believe just the two that are currently on there, one for sale and one for lease. The lease one had already had 24 hits in the last 2 weeks, and the sale one in the last week and a half it had, like I believe, 12. So it is creating a little bit of traffic for the people that are utilizing that. So please continue to post more of your rentals on the GLA website, because the more homes that are on there, the more actual relevant source it'll be for potential tenants. I would like also to announce that we do have a new board member. Last month I announced that I appointed Bobby Kirby to the board. This month I have appointed Craig Federline from the law firm of Christensen and Federline. Here's Craig.
Thank you very much.
So obviously he is a lawyer and one of the partners at the law firm. Also today we have his partner here, Chris Christensen, and Chris is running for Genesee County Judge. And I'd like to introduce Chris to come up here and talk to you guys for a minute or two so he can introduce himself. Please help me welcome Chris.
Thanks, Ed. I know a lot of you probably already know who I am. We've been doing a lot of landlord-tenant work for about the last 18 years. This seat's a little different. This is a circuit court seat. Judge Fullerton and Judge Nethercutt are both retiring. Each of them have been on the bench for over 30 years. So we've had a lot of stability and a lot of consistency. And so this year, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I've decided to go ahead and run. Craig's not very happy with me about it because we make a great team. We've had a lot of fun too. So, but it shouldn't be a surprise. Just so those of you that don't know, Craig and I have been partners since 2006. And when we became partners in 2006, we built a clause into our paperwork that said, if I ever run, this is how we're going to handle it. And what's important about that is that it's something that I want to do since then. It's something I've already known about. And I think what I really hope that everybody takes from this and considers me in running is that I want it to be fair. Let that soak in for just a quick second. When you walk into any courtroom, don't you want to have an understanding or at least a belief that you're going to have a fair shot? And I know as landlords, all of you absolutely know what I'm talking about when you walk into a certain courtroom here in our town and you already know that as a landlord you're not getting a fair shot. All right? How does that make you feel? It makes you feel terrible. It makes it feel like it's a waste of time and a waste of your money, and you have to jump through a bunch of extra hoops. Here's the thing. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair at district court, and I don't think it's fair at circuit court where the stakes are higher. So that's one of the reasons why I've decided to do this. So I appreciate you guys giving me the time. If you have questions, I'll be around. Tonight I didn't expect to be here though, so my wife has already been texting me dinner's ready. So I wasn't planning on this. So anyway, I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody. I've circulated a petition. Thank you guys for signing it, those of you that were able to do that, and I look forward to answering questions in the future. And that was great. I have a 15-year-old, so I'm gonna go home and yell at her right now. Check her phone.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Do we have any new members here tonight? Thank you for joining. Please, everybody, welcome him to the GLA. Thank you for joining, and just feel free. It's an open book. Just call any of the members anytime you have any questions to help get you going.
Sounds good.
The book of the month is The 1 Minute Manager. The biggest thing I picked up from this, I tell my staff, I don't care if you make the right decision or the wrong decision, just make a decision. So this is available, will be at the GLA office, or some of you guys can check that out tonight. And Allison Snell is going to start introducing our vendors.
Our first vendor tonight is Financial Plus Credit Union. And I just want to share some information. I've personally been a member of Financial Plus for the last 48 years when they were called West Side. Does anybody remember that? So I truly have been a satisfied customer. So here to give us some insight on their products and services Let's welcome Jennifer Thompson and Rachel Mauser.
Good evening. I'm Rachel with Financial Plus Credit Union. I'm the Director of Marketing there at the credit union. And this is Jennifer, our Regional Manager at the credit union. And we just want to thank you guys all for having us here today. For those of you that don't know, we have 7 locations, 5 right here in Genesee County, and then 1 in Saginaw County and 1 in Livingston County. So we serve 34 counties total for our membership. We've been serving our members since 1952. So we've been around for quite some time, originally founded by the Chevy Flint workers back in 1952. We love our communities. We do lots of sponsorships and fundraisers. We support over 100 local events each and every year, and always looking for more to do for our community and to give back to those in need. And so I'll pass it over to Jen to talk about our products and services.
Thank you guys so much for having us here. So we're a full-service financial institution. We have personal and commercial products, and we talked to a few of you at the table already. So those that are members and those that are potential members, thank you. We do have a special offer for you guys today. If you look at getting a checking account, either a personal or commercial account, up to $100 for that. So we'll leave some of the flyers. If you want to grab those on your way out, you just need to bring them to one of our branch locations. So do you guys have any questions for us? No? Not like the human trafficking question. Their hands are flying up about us, but all right. So thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate being here. Oh, here's a
Do
question.
you guys like portfolio?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Portfolio lending.
Portfolio lending.
They do, but they're not, they want a decent amount of downstroke. But they'll do small and sell house stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna make this quick. Everybody knows about AAA and our road service and our products. We sell auto insurance, life insurance. We sell umbrella policies, which would be beneficial to people that are renting out homes because it covers all your liability. We sell boat insurance. We sell it all. AAA has a bank also now. We do have online services that you can benefit from our banking service. Also, we've partnered with, if you are a member of AAA, we partnered with Sprint. And if you have a Sprint cell phone service, Sprint will pay your membership each year free. So that's something, if you're already a AAA member, that you can look into that service also. Now, by going online and registering your AAA card, we offer you free theft identity. So you get that for being a member. So if you have not went on to AAA.com and registered your AAA card, do so, because we give you free theft identity. We have a lot of online discounts that you can take advantage of. And this is my favorite because I like to shop online. Macy's, Kohl's, Steinmart, they're all on here, different stores. This is how I pay for my grandson's membership each year. Because they give you a certain percentage when you go through our website and you order online. They give you a certain percentage of what you buy, and you collect AAA dollars. Those dollars can be used to pay for your membership each year. Also, we do have a credit card that you can use, and you get 3% back if you purchase your auto insurance or home insurance with AAA. Our emergency road service, we've been around for a long time. I've been with AAA for 33 years. It's the best thing going for road service because it's all prepaid and the card is on you. So you don't have to even be driving your car, or if you're driving, you can use your AAA card, whatever vehicle you're in. It doesn't have to be your vehicle, and that's for any towing. And with the inclement weather we've been having, towing, get stuck in the snow, Yeah, I did too. You can use your AAA card for that. Okay.
I'm Anedra Lewis, and I own On Target Tax and Bookkeeping. I am an enrolled agent, and enrolled agents get their credential directly from the IRS after passing a very extensive test and a stringent background check to make sure that we haven't done anything tax-wise that would prevent us from representing clients before the IRS. We can represent everyone before the IRS the same as a CPA or a tax attorney, just so that you know what an EA is. Tonight I'm going to give you a synopsis of the tax bill that was passed recently and give you a bit of an idea of what they've done to us, and please don't shoot the messenger. Our senators and representatives recently passed a tax cut bill, and President Trump did sign it into law. It is the first overhaul since the Reagan administration. Tax changes are never easy and they are never equitable. The standard deduction has been nearly doubled for 2018 through 2025, but personal exemptions have been eliminated. Some people are going to make out better and others are going to make out worse than under the current law. My own personal opinion after reading the changes is that anyone with more than one child is probably going to pay more tax just because of the loss of the personal exemptions. The child tax credit has been increased from $1,000 to $2,000 with up to $1,400 being refundable, which will probably help make up partially for the loss of the exemptions, but it's not going to get it all. You can still itemize, but in order to itemize, your itemized deductions now have to total more than the new standard deduction. And a married filing joint couple standard deduction is going to be $24,000. So in order to itemize, you have to have mortgage interest, property taxes, charitable deductions, totaling more than $24,000. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Most people are not going to be able to itemize next year. Gambling losses continue to be deductible if you can itemize. So either win a little so that your losses are small, or win a lot, one of the two. Because if you win $2,500 and it costs you $3,000 to do it, you're not going to be able to deduct that loss. But if you win $100,000 and it costs you $101 to do it, you'll be able to deduct it. Makes no sense. They also have allowed that you can now claim your transportation for wagering. So I guess if you fly to Vegas or Reno, you can now take your transportation if you can itemize. I think that the casino owners and the professional poker players probably lobbied long and hard for that one. Miscellaneous itemized deductions that are subject to 2% of your adjusted gross income have always been an itemized deduction that you can take in the middle of that Schedule A. That has been totally and completely eliminated. That whole section of the form, it's about that big, is gone. So anyone who travels for a living and gets a W-2 from their employer is not going to be able to deduct their travel expenses. Truck drivers, long-haul truck drivers, electrical substation technicians, electrical linemen, tree service technicians, everybody that follows the hurricanes and the tornadoes and everything and restores power. They all have to stay in motels, they have to eat in restaurants, they have mileage for their vehicle, and most of them are W-2 employees. They can't deduct any of that anymore. I do not think that Congress really realized how many working people they were affecting when they passed that. And every time they do a shutdown and a 2 or 3 week bill to get the government running again, they start adding stuff back in. So hopefully this will come to their attention and get changed, because several things got added back in this last one that got the government running again, I think it was Friday, that had been eliminated. One of which is mortgage insurance. They had said that as of January 1st of 2017, we couldn't take the mortgage insurance on the Schedule A. It got added back in, and we were all sent a memo, you know, this is affecting returns you're doing now, make sure you read it now. In fact, it was affecting a return I was doing right at that moment, so it happened at an opportune time. Moving expenses will no longer be deductible unless the person is in the military. And if an employer reimburses the moving expenses, it has to be included on the W-2 now, and you'll be taxed on it. May not affect you, but it may affect a family member. Starting January 1st, 2019, new divorce agreements, alimony will not be deductible by the payer or taxable to the payee. We have no clue why. All of the existing education credits remain the same, except for the front page deduction where you could take tuition and fees as an adjustment to your adjusted gross income. That one right now does not exist. They may throw it back in, have no clue. The home sale exclusion is still the same. If you're selling your main home, you can still exclude $250,000 in profit for a single person or $500,000 for a couple. They have extended it from 5 years to 8 years, so it's probably going to get prorated at some point. No deduction is going to be allowed for entertainment expenses, any entertainment, amusement, recreation, membership dues, club dues that are organized for business, pleasure, recreation, or other social purpose.
How about landlord association dues?
You heard what I just said. It says no.
Business.
Yeah, it's a business purpose. So, employers, if an employer provides meals at their place of business for their convenience so that their employees do not leave and risk them not coming back, used to be able to take 100% of that meal cost. Now you can only take 50%. Let's see. Net operating losses used to be carried back 2 years and forward until they were used. Now they will just be carried forward. And if your adjusted gross income is high enough, they may be limited to 80%. I don't anticipate that anyone in this room would have that limitation problem. The definition of Section 179 property has been expanded to include certain depreciable property, such as appliances and furniture and carpet for your houses. So if you're providing appliances and furniture, new carpet, instead of having to roll them in and depreciate them over the class life, you can take them as a straight off deduction. Just make sure that each item is under $2,500. So if you're carpeting a whole house and it's gonna be $3,000, break it up in 2 receipts. Anything that you purchase for your rental houses, if it's under $2,500, you can just take it as a straight deduction. You do not have to depreciate it or even 179 it. They have also expanded the the definition of qualified real property, eligible for Section 179 depreciation, which is where you can, if you're not familiar, where you can take more than the class life of 27 and a half years up to the entire purchase price. So like roofs, HVAC, fire alarm, and security systems. You can 179 them and take as much of that cost as you want in that tax year. And it doesn't have to be limited to $2,500. These components are usually just depreciated out over time. They have also instituted something, and I was trying to find someone to refer you to. If you're, for individual rental house owners, I don't think it will really affect you much. But if you're doing a commercial building or you're building a commercial building, you can segregate the cost of the components separate from the building. Like the HVAC for a huge building may be $50,000 or something. You can say, okay, the class life of the HVAC is going to be 20 years or 15 years, and write it off over that time period rather than 39 years for a commercial building. The components, like I said, HVAC, alarms, security, roof systems. The kicker to this is you have to use a cost segregation specialist. I was trying to find one so that I would have someone to refer you to. And I made contact with one person and he never got back with me. So if you're doing a high dollar building where being able to write off some of the parts of the building faster than other parts might be beneficial, I would get on the internet and search for a cost segregation specialist. For your average rental house, I think the cost of them would probably be prohibitive, but it doesn't hurt to check it out, because rather than writing everything off over 40 years, if you can write part of it off over 10 or 20, it would definitely be beneficial tax-wise. Buildings, however, still don't qualify for Section 179 depreciation, where you can write off up to 100% in the year it put in service. Computers and peripheral equipment, such as printers and monitors, etc., don't have to be listed on your tax return anymore, so you can get rid of that list of 4 printers and 2 CPUs and half a dozen monitors. And the domestic activities production deduction has been repealed, and as has the Obamacare health insurance mandate. And that's all I've got for tonight. If you've got any questions, I would, yes?
How about the state and local income tax?
The state of Michigan is going to have to rewrite their tax code because their tax code is based on dependency exemptions. So that is, stay tuned. They haven't even started yet. Yes, sir.
Business taxes are still due on March 15th.
For if you're an S corporation, yes. S corporation or partnership. C corporations are April 15th.
Not LLCs then.
Well, an LLC chooses how it's going to be taxed. Are you taxed as a sole proprietor, a partnership, an S corp, or a C corp?
I just know it's LLC. So.
Well, is it a one-person LLC?
The what?
One-person LLC?
Two.
Two-person LLC? The default is a partnership, and that would be March 15th. Yes, sir?
What was it about the tuition and fees deduction? That's still good for 17 though.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not. The front page deduction for tuition and fees is not good for 17. The American Opportunities Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit are both still good going on for 17 and going forward. But the front page deduction, they retroed that one back to the first of the year and kicked it out.
Did you say that like a furnace, you can write off in the year you buy it, or did you say you would just set up a separate depreciation schedule?
It can now be written off in the year you buy it.
Without limit to the cost? I mean, it's a $5,000 furnace, a $10,000 furnace.
Yeah, it's subject to 179 depreciation, so yeah, you'd be able to write it off.
And a roof also, you said?
Yes. Yes.
How are major renovations done, as far as, being taxed?
Major renovations are still, you still add them to your basis and depreciate it over the life of the property, which if it's a house, it's 27 and a half years, and if it's a commercial building, it's 39. Yes.
Getting back to Henry's question regarding the firm, does that include the labor also?
Yeah. I thank you very much.
I've added a new section on the members-only part of the website called forums, not like lease forms, like a discussion forum where you guys can ask questions, make comments, ask for recommendations. Like there's a contractors form on there, so you could go on there and say, hey, I need a referral to a plumber, and another landlord could go on there and comment and on the thread and leave the answer for the plumber. Or you could go on there and ask a question about how to answer or deal with a certain eviction process, and another landlord could go on there, or landlords could go on there and leave answers. So I encourage you guys to use this new tool. Obviously it's new, so there's not a lot of information on it now, but please start using that. And then thank you 50/50 winner, and thank you for everybody for coming out. Meeting's adjourned.